And first off, actually, what's with the crazy stuff at Whiting? Like, everything you do is a little nuts.
We like to say
like,
wacky. Okay,
yeah.
it's wacky, whimsical, whatever, a lot of W adjectives. The idea is just to challenge the norm, right? I mean, we like to poke fun at our heritage, our Slovak and Polish heritage, and that kind of led into the Mascot, which really is a great fit with the Pierogi Fest characters, and we have a lot of fun doing that, and hence the Pierogi Fest parade, which is of course crazy and wacky in itself.
If people haven't been to that, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Right, it is.
Just
It's pretty
gargantuan.
funny. It's pretty wacky.
Just mania. The volume of people that are there.
There's about 75
the entertainment that's there.
It's about 75 to 80,000 people on the street for that given parade. It's a little bit of a collection of things people give me, and of course, a collection of things I like. But first couple months in office, I've had people who were giving me things, and being a new mayor, I didn't know what to do with them. So I kind of put them in a box, and some stuff kind of slipped out the door, and sorry about that, but they disappeared. So I learned very quickly that people come back and want to know where their gift they gave you is. So I've made a habit now that anytime somebody gives me something, I'll put it on the shelf, maybe buried 2 rows deep, but this is a collection of things that people gave me over time. I have a series of Whiting High School graduate series, many billboards that I put up every time we put one up. State championship softball balls for the teams every time I threw a first pitch out, or something crazy from somebody. But it's just all about kind of saving it and go down in my I guess my man cave when I retire. I'll take it all with me. One of my favorites is a bat that's signed by all the mayors in the state of Indiana in the window. It's last term I took that bat around to almost every function for about 2 years, and out of the 121 mayors, I think I came up about 6 short, but still pretty cool item. And when people talk about Whiting, they say, yeah, you still got a really cool downtown business district, and that's really important. And we spend a lot of time, effort, and even money to make sure this happens. Very few vacancies. The ones that are vacant now are being remodeled for new businesses that are coming in. So we've been very blessed in that fact.
You got a great diversity also. It's not just a bunch of restaurants. You got restaurants, quite a lot of shopping. So it's keeping people walking around, not just coming here at night.
Sure, we're trying to shoot for a little more retail, but it's always hard in a small town. But have a lot of eateries and a couple nightlife places now, so it's really pretty cool. The one thing that we did maybe in Whiting that is that we're kind of proud of is that the market didn't take care of the business district for us. The business district early on in my term, it was struggling. A lot of empty stores and buildings that were in disrepair. And we sat down and thought about it and says, well, nobody's going to come in and fix them because there's no incentive to do that. So we created a strategy to, number one, buy 5, 6, 7 of the worst buildings on the business district. So the City Redevelopment Commission purchased them. And then what we did is we stabilized the buildings so that the outside curbside appeal of the buildings was new, attractive, and fresh. New roof if you had to, whatever it may be. Then we sold the building to a developer who then took it and brought it back up to code, the entire building, and built out the insides. So we ate the cost of the improvements because we did that as our investment in the project. And once
you also knew until you invested in the project yourself, nobody else was going to.
And once we did it, it got contagious. We had people ask us, what are you doing with this building? What are you doing with this building? So I think all told, we probably did 15 to 18 buildings like that. Some we sold, some we tore down, some we built, had people come in and build new. You can make a right-hand turn here, this is the limit. Mayor McDermott's on the other side of Atchison Avenue, so we don't want to go there. I don't want to have the alarms go off. We're driving now past our last housing development. This is our, call it Lakeside, but it's Lakefront Commons. And houses were built, to take advantage of the view of the lake. Really been a great project, one house at a time, all sold out now. It's completely mature. Now we're looking for other areas to redevelop. Really been a successful project here, and actually put some new homes that were sorely needed in the community, and brought some people from out of town now starting to get interested about
it. You really got a local sort of downtown feel to it. They're all sitting there, built around the school, the sports complex.
We developed
activity.
We developed covenants there to say, let's make sure they're detached garages, front porches, so that they have some kind of a style. And it ended up taking on a Cape Cod feel,
Yeah.
Okay. What we're doing now is we're driving into the oldest section of town. The Redevelopment Commission has every one of these buildings on our acquisition list. It's a little bit controversial. Nobody wants to be kicked out of their homes, but to date, we've purchased every home and every lot that's vacant right now on the open market from a willing seller. So things are going very well. There's 17
pushing people out, but you're capitalizing as soon as they want to go.
That's
you
right.
Grab that property.
There's 17 homes right now that are left that we don't own. There's probably 8 or 9 that still have to come down that we do own. The goal here now is to take the next phase of the housing development and bring it here closer to the lake. This is a typical north side street. This is LaPorte Avenue. These are all 125-year-old homes. They're fairly well maintained. People take pride in them. Not every home's up to snuff, but every year somebody's making an investment in the community. The corner building here was just purchased. It was abandoned for quite some time because the family, patriarch and matriarch, they had passed away. But that's been bought now, and they're working on revitalizing that. Around the corner, we're going to show you another property, and this is one of those homes I said that when you find something that's underutilized and underused, you evaluate it, and if it can't be saved, you tear it down. So the fourth house here is a brand new home that went up on right here is 1642. Yeah, a brand new home that went up on a building that we should have torn down years ago. So, for us, it would never happen if the city wouldn't have got involved and bought the building from the family who just didn't want to sell it. And you buy a house for $15,000 or $20,000 that's that bad, and now you get a brand new $250,000 house. We have 5 or 6 more examples on this block.
And what people are seeing is undoubtedly you're investing in the city, so they're thinking every single house says, oh, well, this guy next door is upgrading a little bit. I ought to take a little bit better care of my yard.
Right.
Maybe I ought to put a new roof on. Maybe I ought to do new siding.
One home here is a total rehab. This is a brand new home in the block. This is Sheridan Avenue. There's at least 3 total rehabs on this block, about 5 of them that the city's been involved in. This park really is what really changed what's happening in Whiting. We were blessed to get an RDA grant in the $23 million range, and leveraged that with some local bond money and some grant money that we received. And we took an old gravel parking lot with a bunch of boulders on the shoreline and turned it into what I think is an extraordinary passive park where people can come and enjoy themselves. They can rent the pavilion. They can have a party out here. We hold festivals and events out here. There's people walking here all the time. It's a great view of the Chicago skyline. We have a 300-foot fishing pier, a pavilion that's rented every weekend, literally every weekend in the summertime. We have a gazebo, a folly, a formal garden that you can actually perform weddings in and hold your reception right here. In the distance, you can see the Wozone Aqua Park. That's been a smashing success for us. I think we're pushing around 10,000 people that have paid to go on the attraction right now. It's a 3-year partnership with a company out of Madison, Wisconsin. That's really worked well. Just wanted to kind of showcase the Aqua Zone down here, but we could probably, we put a new trail in here now. This trail was buried under sand for years, and when we acquired the property from the county, now it connects right to the Hammond property along the casino and into the Hammond Marina Park. And very shortly, you're going to be able to hop on a bike and drive all the way up into the city of Chicago after Hammond completes their last stretch, and work closely with.
Take a view down here. Yeah, I won't drive down here. I'll just take a little view down here.
Okay. Okay, and you scared me there for a minute.
What brought you to thinking, you know what? Let's have a mascot museum in the city of Whiting.
Yeah, well,
that takes some creativity to think about.
Yeah, it sure does. You know, once we did the park, you know, we realized that we can turn the community into what we think is a small 1-day, 2-day destination, and we knew we needed a signature attraction to bring people. So we were looking at things like children's museums and things like that. I actually cold called a gentleman that was a former Philly fanatic, David Raymond. We had a conversation. He was kind of hosting a Mascot website. David and I started talking. David is like the foremost mascot expert in the country. He has his own business that develops mascot costumes for people. He holds mascot training sessions. He works with corporations to find and define a mascot role for a corporation. And David had a virtual mayor's house.
Obviously a Cubs fan.
Yeah, obviously. David had an idea, and we said, let's build. If we built the building, will you be interested in partnering with us? And that's how it worked. David and I ended up signing a MOU to say, let's try it. And here we are building the building, and all the exhibits have been designed. It's just a matter of triggering everything that needs to be done to get everything in place. And we're looking at next year. But it really was born out of the search for a main attraction to bring people to the community. And the idea behind that is that, okay, we're going to spend some money to build a building. There's a little risk on a project this crazy, but if it works, there'll be a constant flow of people 12 months a year, not just the summertime, which we have no problem getting people here. And they'll feed the business district and bring customers and bodies for the business district.
So that all your restaurants and entertainment options downtown are not saying, okay, I'm feasting during the summertime, but it's famine in the winter.
Exactly, and that's how it really is, you know. But the Mascot Hall of Fame is an interesting proposition. We really got a lot of, we're super excited about it. We've got an unbelievable national coverage for it. So it's definitely a crazy idea. And, with the Pierogi Fest and everything else that Whiting does, it's not, a crazy idea is not necessarily unusual for us, right? I think you asked me what was different in Whiting. I think people are totally amazed that you come into Whiting and we still have a viable business district, which we think is pretty cool. But we're 2 square miles, 1.9 square miles, and of that 1.9 square miles, one of those square miles is the BP refinery. So we really only have 0.9 square miles of activity, housing, and business.
You literally got to squeeze every single thing you can into every square foot.
And I think every other mayor in the state would say, boy, I wish I only had 1.9 square miles to take care of. And that's probably a factor to where when we get a little extra cash or we can do something, we can make it's more effective because we don't have this huge territory to deal with. So I understand I got maybe an easier job than a lot of the mayors across the
But it's
state.
also challenging when somebody comes in and says, hey, I need 20 acres for this development.
Yeah.
You say, nah.
I try to send them to East Chicago and Hammond and help my neighbors out, or Gary, and try to make it work. But we're all in this together, and the more we can help each other, the better off we are. But we're pretty content having a refinery as our big industry, but we have a lot more to work on and a lot of things to do. But I'm looking forward to keeping the improvement moving down the road.
Well, maybe it's good to be lucky. It's good to be wacky. It's good to be good.
Yeah, it's whimsical. Whatever. Yeah.